The perfect trap, 6 months of preparation, zero margin for error. Fleet Commander Thracevic of the Concorded Alliance watched the tactical display with the cold satisfaction of a predator that had finally cornered its prey. 47 warships hung in perfect formation within the gravity anomaly of the Calera system, their hulls wrapped in sensor-dampening fields that rendered them invisible to human detection. Or so the intelligence promised. All vessels report ready status. Commander, his second officer reported, mandibles clicking with anticipation. The Terran patrol fleet will enter the kill zone in approximately 14 minutes. 14 minutes until the Concorded rewrote the balance of power in this sector. 14 minutes until humanity learned that their reckless expansion across the stars had consequences. Thracevic's 3 eyes studied the projection of expected enemy positions. 12 human vessels, destroyers and frigates mostly, with perhaps 1 heavy cruiser leading the formation. Standard patrol strength, predictable. The humans had run this same route every 19 days for the past 4 months, their movements as regular as a chronometer. They had no idea the Concorded had been watching, learning, waiting. "Remind all gunnery officers," Thracevic said, his voice carrying the weight of ceremony. "Disable their communications array first. I want no distress signals, no warnings. When we're finished here, High Command will find nothing but debris and questions." The bridge crew acknowledged with ritualistic precision. This was more than an ambush, it was a statement. For too long, the Terrans had pushed into Concorded space, their ships bristling with primitive weapons and their diplomats offering empty words about mutual prosperity. The Alliance had tried negotiation. They'd tried intimidation. Now they would try extinction. "Commander, passive sensors detect gravitational disturbances consistent with FTL emergence," the sensor officer announced. "Bearing 273, distance 400,000 kilometers. It's them, right on schedule." Thracevic allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. 6 months of intelligence gathering, 36 agents embedded in human space stations, countless hours of decrypting their laughably simple communications protocols, all of it leading to this moment. "All ships maintain stealth protocols," he ordered. "Let them come deeper into the well. I want them so far and they can't run even if they detect us." The tactical display updated as the human fleet materialized from faster-than-light travel. One by one, the Terran vessels appeared on sensors, their reactor signatures blazing like beacons to the Concorded's sophisticated detection. Arrays, Thracevic counted them. 1, 4, 8, 12. His mandibles froze. Mid-click 15, 20, 30. "Sensor officer, explain the discrepancy." His voice remained calm, but a cold tendril of unease crept up his spine. "I count 31 human vessels, not 12. "Confirmed, Commander." 31 ships and, Commander, those aren't destroyers. Those are battle cruisers, and I'm reading at least 4 dreadnoughts in formation. Impossible. The intelligence was perfect. The patterns were consistent, unless— Sir! The communications officer's voice cracked with something the Concorded rarely expressed. Fear. "I'm detecting active targeting locks. Multiple sources. They're behind us." The gravity well lit up like a star going nova. From positions the Concorded sensors had swept 100 times, positions that had registered as empty space, human, warships emerged from stealth fields that shouldn't exist. Dozens of them. Hundreds of weapons ports opening like the eyes of ancient gods, already trained on the Concorded fleet with cold precision. Thracevic's 3 eyes widened in horror as understanding crashed over him like a collapsing wave. The patrol routes, the intercepted messages, the intelligence his agents had discovered, all of it, fed to them deliberately. Evasive action, all ships scatter, and the first human salvo cut his order short. Kinetic penetrators moving at relativistic speeds punched through the Concorded flagship's shields, like they were made of vapor. The bridge exploded in a cascade of sparks and atmosphere as bulkheads ruptured. Through the chaos and the screaming, Thracevic heard a voice on the emergency channel, calm, human, and absolutely terrifying in its professionalism. "Concorded vessels. This is Admiral Saracen of the Terran Defense Fleet. You are surrounded and outgunned. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. This is your only warning." Thracevic looked at the tactical display through the smoke and emergency lighting. What had been a perfect ambush formation was now a massacre in progress. Human ships moved with ruthless efficiency, their firing solutions already calculated, their commanders executing a battle plan they'd clearly practiced 1,000 times. The hunters had become the prey, and the prey had teeth. All ships. Thrasovic's voice was ash. Withdraw. Emergency FTL, get out while another salvo. Another ship vanished in a bloom of nuclear fire. The last thing Thrasovic heard before his own ship's reactor went critical was the human admiral's voice. Cold as the void itself, I don't think so. The kill box 43 minutes into the engagement. 31 concorded ships already gone. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the TDS Indomitable, her hands clasped behind her back as she watched the carnage unfold with the detached precision of a surgeon. Around her, the bridge crew worked in synchronized silence, no shouting, no chaos. Just the quiet efficiency of professionals executing a plan they'd rehearsed until it became muscle memory. Concorded cruiser Shavek, attempting to break through the perimeter at grid 77 Alpha. Lieutenant Morrison reported from tactical. Captain Okafor is moving to intercept. Tell Okafor to disable, not destroy, Chen said calmly. I want prisoners who can explain to their high command exactly what happened here. Admiral. Chen turned her attention to the main display, where the three-dimensional tactical map showed the Calera gravity well in stark detail. 6 months ago, when intelligence first detected concorded scouts poking around this system, she'd known something was coming. The aliens were too methodical, too careful. They didn't explore, they studied, so she'd given them something to study. False patrol routes, encrypted communications with deliberately weak security, classified documents left in places where concorded agents could find them. Every piece of intelligence carefully crafted to paint a picture. Humanity was predictable, overconfident, and ripe for the taking. The concorded had swallowed it whole. Commander Hayes, Chen addressed her XO without taking her eyes from the display. Status report on the outer perimeter? Commander Marcus Hayes consulted his tablet, his weathered face illuminated by its glow. Battle Group Theta reports all exit vectors sealed. Nothing gets in or out without our say-so. The concorded are boxed in tight, Admiral. Good. Chen watched as another alien vessel, a heavy destroyer by the looks of it, tried to make a desperate run for the system's edge. The TDS Valiant and Resolute moved to bracket it, their point defense system shredding the destroyer's engines with surgical precision. The alien ship tumbled, powerless and drifting, disabled, not destroyed. Just as she'd ordered. Admiral, we're receiving a transmission from the concorded flagship, Communications Officer Park announced. It's a surrender offer. The bridge went quiet. Chen could feel every eye turning toward her, waiting for her response. She'd been waiting for this moment. Put it through, Lieutenant. Let's hear what they have to say. The main screen flickered and the battered face of Fleet Commander Thrasovic appeared. His command bridge was a ruin of sparking consoles and emergency lighting. Smoke curled around him like funeral shrouds. One of his 3 eyes was sealed shut, leaking a dark fluid that Chen assumed was blood. When he spoke, his translator rendered his clicks and whistles into flat, emotionless English. Admiral Chen. We surrender. Cease fire, please. The word please hung in the air like a foreign object. Chen studied the alien commander for a long moment, noting the defeat in his posture, the way his mandibles hung slack with exhaustion and despair. Fleet Commander Thrasovic, she said, her voice carrying across both bridges. You spent 6 months planning this ambush. You infiltrated our stations, corrupted our personnel, intercepted our communications. You came here to erase an entire fleet and send a message to humanity. She paused, letting the weight of those words settle. Did you really think we wouldn't notice? Thrasovic's remaining eyes widened. You knew. From the beginning. From the very beginning, Chen confirmed. Your first scout entered this system 183 days ago. We detected him 4 hours after he arrived. Did you think our sensor technology was really that primitive? That our encryption was really that weak? She gestured to the tactical display, where the remains of the concorded fleet drifted in a carefully orchestrated killing field. Every piece of intelligence you gathered, we fed to you. Every weakness you found, we planted. Every pattern you identified, we created. You thought you were studying us, Commander. You were wrong. We were studying you. The alien commander's mandibles trembled. Why? Why go through such elaborate deception? You could have simply reinforced your borders, increased your patrols, Chen's expression hardened. Because the Concorded Alliance needed to learn a lesson. And lessons learned through experience are the ones that stick. She leaned forward slightly, her voice dropping to something colder than the void itself. You're not the first species to mistake humanity's restraint for weakness. You won't be the last. But when this is over, when you return to your high command with 16 surviving ships out of 47, you're going to tell them exactly what happened here. You're going to explain how the primitive humans turned your perfect ambush into a graveyard. You're going to make them understand that humanity doesn't need to be the strongest species in the galaxy. Her eyes locked with his. We just need to be the smartest. The silence that followed was absolute. Even Chen's own crew seemed to hold their breath. Finally, Thrasovic's shoulders slumped in complete defeat. What? What are your terms? Unconditional surrender, full intelligence disclosure, immediate withdrawal from all contested systems. And one more thing, Commander. Chen's voice softened, but only slightly. You're going to send a message to your high command. Every word exactly as I dictated. Are we clear? Yes, Admiral. Good. Chen nodded to Lieutenant Park. Prepare a communication package, standard surrender protocols. And Commander Hayes? Yes, Admiral? Deploy recovery teams to all disabled Concorded vessels. I want prisoners processed, wounded treated, and every surviving ship cataloged. By the book. No exceptions. Hayes smiled grimly. Showing them we're civilized even in victory? Something like that. Chen turned back to the viewport, where the debris field glittered like scattered diamonds against the black. Besides, Marcus, the real message isn't in how brutally we can win a fight. What's the real message, Admiral? Chen's reflection in the viewport showed a slight cold smile. That we saw them coming 6 months before they thought we did. That we're always 3 steps ahead. That every time they think they've figured us out. She paused as another disabled Concorded ship was tractored toward the nearest Terran carrier. We'll prove them wrong. End of Part 2.